would you consider yourself an environmentalist?
Yes.
Do you feel like it's possible to eat meat and be an environmentalist?
That's a tough one. I want to say yes because I'm selfish and I want to keep eating meat. But yeah, I don't know.
You have no clue, do you?
Well, let's see.
Oh, God.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Christian, and I'm in Boulder, Colorado, asking everyone about what they think about environmentalism and if it's possible to eat meat and be an environmentalist. So let's see what people are thinking. What do you think of when you hear the word environmentalism?
You know, I was actually going to ask you what your definition of environmentalism was, because I'm not sure I've heard that exact terminology before. So I would think that it would refer to maybe protecting the environment.
I think about recycling, about pollution, about greenhouse gases, and about big industries polluting.
The environment? No, I think we're all extinct really soon.
So
whatever happens. There's no way out of it. It's a catch-22.
What's your interpretation of what environmentalism is?
The Extinction Rebellion people, there's going to be a protest next week in Denver. Come to our little meeting in the schoolhouse here at Naropa. Before it, none of them have heard about the aerosol masking effect called global dimming. How hopeless you can't change it. The feedback loops have been started 100 years ago, maybe.
Right, and adoption is needed.
Totally past population overshoot.
Okay.
Don't buy into hopium. It's rubbish. There's no way out of this. It's going exponential. It's not linear.
What are your thoughts about environmentalism?
It means caring for the earth, not polluting what we are gifted with, and leaving it the way we found it for following generations.
Good old leave no trace mantra.
Yes, but also, I think people today, myself included, have an obligation to the next generation and the next generation, not to just basically screw it up and leave them a mess to clean up.
So would you identify as an environmentalist?
I think most people are, but don't act on it. Most people would say that they are.
Yeah, a recent Gallup poll actually mentioned that 4 out of 10 Americans believe that they are environmentalists. So a random question based off that, considering animal agriculture is the leading cause of deforestation, water consumption, ocean dead zones, and we feed the majority of all of our food to other animals, do you feel that your diet corresponds with your ideas of environmentalism?
100% not. Everything I eat is definitely coming from a food farm. I'm definitely not eating what this man eats, healthy alternatives.
This man? That's my man.
Yeah, no, definitely what I eat is, and who makes my food buys their stuff in mass quantities. So I don't think it's environmentally friendly.
Would you consider yourself an environmentalist?
Oh, hell no. I'm the most wasteful, biggest boomer on earth. I could date college girls in my 50s. So when the boomer became an expletive, at first I was shocked. And then, yeah, you're right. I was born into obscene, once in human history wealth based on the blood of centuries of murder and other stuff. And totally squandered it, especially me. I could have been a multimillionaire, perhaps, if I'd been more business-minded. And don't buy into hopium.
Myself personally, I don't follow through. I don't follow through. I definitely believe that people should be more environmentally friendly and practice things that help the environment, electric cars, stuff like that. But personally, I don't.
I think that if I could afford to buy sustainable clothing every single time I bought clothes, yes, and I buy secondhand clothing, primarily most of the amount of clothing I have is secondhand, but I don't do it enough to actually think I'm an environmentalist. I think that I don't do a good enough job to call myself an environmentalist, but I try my best given that I'm on I'm a college student. I don't have enough money to go buy stuff from brands that are sustainable and ethically sourced, because they're these pants are sustainable, but they're like,
What are they made of?
I have no idea. I can't remember.
Coming from like a city over to like a mountain town kind of, it's definitely opened my perspective a lot onto like the possibilities of like moving towards a environmentally correct like wardrobe, for example. But it's just like financially it's really difficult, and I think that's something that can be translated into everybody's lives, that like not everybody's financially stable enough to be able to afford a environmentally like ethical wardrobe, or drive like a car that benefits the environment. Like I think it's just really difficult for especially young people to be able to afford that.
I would, to a point. I would say that there's certain points where I'm like, okay, maybe we're pushing too hard on certain things. But yeah, I would definitely say that I try to help the environment in any way I can.
The leading cause of deforestation, freshwater consumption, land use, and plastic pollution in the ocean is animal agriculture.
Okay.
So do you feel that your values of environmentalism align with the way that your diet is organized?
Probably not. No, I think like as far as like meat's concerned, I probably eat just about anything I want. So yeah, I don't really like when it comes to like eating fish, which is a big problem. I know it doesn't really affect like what I order on a menu. As far as like beef and that sort of thing, and causing like pollution and that sort of thing, I usually will eat whatever I want. So no.
I think I'm conscientious of my environment. I think I do my part, but as far as do I go out of my way for energy efficient vehicles and things like that? Yeah, I could do better.
So it's interesting you mentioned energy efficient vehicles. I've actually been hearing that a lot whenever I ask people that question. It turns out that animal agriculture is actually creating more emissions than all transportation systems on Earth combined. So do you feel like we're worrying about the right problems?
Certainly, cattle are a contributor. I think I'd have a little bit of a problem with that, because although cattle contribute to methane and things of that nature, I think there's other pollutants that are more persistent.
Do you have any intention of changing your diet in the future for this cause, or do you feel like government will just figure it out in the future?
I think the government will do nothing.
We are the government.
Supposedly.
There we go.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I really just brought it up because a lot of people oftentimes look toward like, I'm going to get an electric car, or I need to reduce my single-use plastic.
Yeah.
But then it's like the cheapest and most efficient solution seems like it's related to our diets.
Okay.
So do you feel like a change like this needs to occur from the grassroots, from like individuals? Or do you think it's better to wait until government regulates our agriculture industry a little differently?
Everything starts with grassroots.
Okay.
I mean, if somebody's not mad about it, if somebody's not upset about it, and doesn't go and make those people make those changes, then it's never going to change.
Are you slightly more mad today?
No. No,
that's okay.
No, I'm not. But it's something I'll think about it now, to be confronted, to be looked at this way. Yeah. Is something that I'll think about for sure. And it's something that I have thought about, but it hasn't really affected the way I choose my meals.
Yeah. Makes total sense. And I mean, one closing message I think is just, if the world had a bunch of imperfect vegans, we'd be in a much better spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Well, it was really great meeting you and talking to you. Yeah, I mean, whenever large changes to culture happen, and like food is as integral as you could probably imagine, like how's that ever going to change without individuals saying this is harming the world we live in? And if we want to be environmentalists and live our values, how can we continue doing it, do you think?
Whole Foods, Sprouts, Natural Grocer, shop there. Honestly, like small chains, I think that's the best way.
And change begins with you.
Yeah.
All right, so that was Boulder, Colorado, asking people about what they think about environmentalism and how their diets impact their values. So if you like this one, it's a little something new I'm doing on the channel, but please subscribe, like, and let me know what you think. So I'll see you in the next one.
Plant-based diet is another way to go, but that needs to be more education, and people have to be more conscious of what they are eating and what they are doing. And I think that is the way to go.